3 years ago, Annie Reid was told she had cervical cancer. Her response was to grasp every opportunity and make the very best of life. More than anything, Annie wanted to leave a legacy her children could be proud of. This song is one of the many things Annie has written for them.
This may sound ironic, but the last 3 years of my life has probably been the best 3 years of my life. You know, when people look at me and say, good God, you know, how can that woman stand there and knowing that her life's on the chalkboard sort of thing. But I've just achieved so much, you know, and if I'd never had cancer, I probably never would have been able to have done it.
I've been dreaming of never too late.
Since her diagnosis, Annie's had chemotherapy, radiotherapy, a hysterectomy and further surgery. But still the cancer's kept recurring. Over the last 6 months, a malignant tumour in her pelvis has caused her frequent pain and discomfort. Annie is now bracing herself for her biggest challenge yet, a rare and complex operation in 2 weeks' time, which her doctors say could cure her.
People look at you in amazement, really, when when people hear I've got cancer, and then when they see me, they get the shock of their life, because they're not expecting me to walk in the way I do walk in. And they find it, as I say, they find it hard to comprehend that I'm going through all this surgery and the chemotherapy and that I've had. But I think a lot of it's to do with willpower and your mind over matter, and the attitude. You know, the attitude I think seems to keep you going. That's how I look at it anyway. And I love it. I do love it when people say, "Don't you look great?" I love that, I do.
There is no question that Annie, at 36, is a survivor. The majority of women who develop recurrent cervical cancer will die within 2 to 3 years. Yet Annie is still alive, 3 years on.
So what do you want?
Charlie, come on, I'm off.
And Mummy's gone now.
Right? I'll see you later.
Go down, give Mummy a kiss.
See you later. Now, you two be good, right? And Daddy will take McDonald's, be really good.
We'll see you at the door.
Carl, 5, Candy, 4 and Charlie, Annie's partner, are well used to her visits to the hospital. But today's particularly important for Annie. She's going for a scan to find out if the cancer has spread to other parts of her body.
You be good, come on. Bye-bye, darling. Really, this body scan is a nightmare today, really, as opposed to when I've had them before. But let's just hope that there is no progress of the disease in other organs. That's what I'm hoping anyway. That's what I'm praying for. So just wait and see what happens, really.
Of the 5,000 women diagnosed with invasive cervical cancer every year in the UK, almost half will die from the disease. Annie's doctors at Bart's Specialist Unit are planning radical surgery to remove the tumour, her bladder, and any other localised cancer cells. But if today's scan shows that the cancer has spread extensively, there would be little point in going ahead with the all-important operation.
These notes just seem to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Because of the complexity of her case, Annie will have to wait 5 days for the results of her scan.
Anne had a scan 2 days ago, and it's very difficult not knowing when you have to wait. I don't know what Anne goes through when she's thinking of these things. She must have a terrible thing on her mind all the time. I get gutted up on that. And
Another hand again.
but she copes well, very well with it. Copes better than anybody else.
Well, Cal and Candy, I must be honest, I'm not looking forward to the results. Something tells me that the results are not going to be very good. And I just wish at times that you two were old enough so Mummy can actually sit you down and talk to you as if I was talking to another adult.
I've done tapes for the kids so that They can sit back at their own leisure when they're older, of course, and listen to what Mammy was telling them, and you know, about the facts of life, the do's and don'ts of life. So the kids know more about me and my views. I wanted my children to know that I am their mother, and I'm the only true mother they will ever know. That I had the fear that if I died, I'd be just a wee hazy photograph sitting on the mantelboard. I didn't want that. Because I didn't know my natural mother as my mother, I knew her as an aunt, and I didn't know my natural father. I felt like a wee ship that was sailing through the night without any ports. It was like my stepdad used to get me to sing Nobody's Child by the Alexander Brothers, do you remember? And I vowed that this would never happen to my kids. Oopsie daisies. This is my treasure box. This is what I put together for Cal and Candy in the event if I should disappear, let's say. I think that's a better word to use, don't you? Right, and what I did actually, I put it together for them, and things that I thought that would be of interest to them, so they would learn to know more about Mammy. They know why the treasure chest box was made, why it was put together. They know I've got cancer. They know that I could go, as my Carl says, with the angels. This was something that I was given to me by friends. I mean, it's the only thing I ever got on my 21st birthday. And it was just something that I'd always kept. It's nothing really of any sort of strong significance. Oh, I can never get that word out. But it's, do you know what I mean? It's just something that belonged to me, right? I also thought it was important to put up my favourite perfume in, because it's a very strong perfume and it's got a very distinct smell. So when they smelt it, they'd automatically smell Mammy. Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know if they're ever going to be great scholars and that, but they were my two favourite pens. As they're getting older, they're going to call for a day when they're going to need a nice pen each, and they can argue out between themselves which one they wanted, you know. And I wanted the kids to see, you know, sort of like what I had when I was on my own, before I had my babies. Do you know what I mean? And I put in here, you know, to Cal and Candy, dated the 9th of the 12th, 1992. This was my very first apartment I ever had in West Germany when I was single. Love from your mum. I love you both very much. So maybe when they get their own apartments and they look at this, they might think, oh, well, if Mammy can do it, you know, we can do it, you know. And no doubt my kids, when they're older, they'll say, oh, our Mammy was some lady. I wouldn't say lady, but some kipper, let's say.
Have you told them everything about yourself, Annie, or have you given them a bit of a rose-tinted view of the perfect mum?
No, I haven't told them, no. I've never told them no lies. No, I'm no perfect tinted mum, no. I mean, I've had divorces, remarriages that never worked. I told my babies, you know, about that as well. I told the babies about Charlie, that he wasn't their natural daddy, you know, that they're biological, but he's the only daddy they've ever known. So as far as I'm concerned, he's dad, right? The children know all this. They know all the bad points about me, my temper, my good points. You know what I mean? There's no point in lying, because they're going to find out eventually what I was and what I wasn't and what I should have been and what I could have been, if you see what I mean. So, no, I haven't portrayed myself as one of these perfect mammies. There's a lot of things that I haven't done with my babies that I should have done, but that's life.
Today is Candy's very first day at school, but it's also 5 days since the scan, and Annie is due to get her results this morning.
When you got to sit and wait on results, the stress is more damaging, I think, than what the actual bloody disease is. The other night I didn't sleep at all. You know, I was pacing the floor up and down. In the end, I had to come down the stairs and sleep on the sofa. You know, I didn't want to wake Charlie and the babies up. I'm very frightened because my whole operation, everything depends on if the disease has progressed or if it's got further. Deep down inside, I'm frightened. I'm very frightened. Well, I've got to be at the school at 10 o'clock with my little girl. It's the results of my body scan. I'm very anxious, please. Yeah. All right then, thanks very much. All right, bye. He's not answering his thing at the moment.
You have to wait now till...
His pager, yeah, I've got to wait till 10. They said I could phone him at 10. You know, I just want to find the results of gone somewhere else, how it's still, you know, I don't know. Just want to hurry up, speak to the doctor and get it over and done with, whether it's bad news or good news. If it's a good news, it's a bonus. If it's a bad news, well, who knows what'll happen then. My nerves are just rattled. I think I've cried more this morning than what I've ever cried since I've had the bloody disease. Sorry about that. Oh, God. When you're going into school looking nice.
Yeah, so go get my pony up.
Get your pony up.
And brush it.
And brush it.
And go to my school.
And then you're going to see your teacher.
And be a good girl.
And be a good girl.
And do my name.
And do your name, yeah.
Be a really good girl.
And be a really, really good girl.
And you can get sweets, yeah?
And you can get sweets, alright. Alright, we'll buy you, if you're a really good girl, we'll buy you something.
Daddy, look, that means that's
Who done that?
that girl in there.
God, I feel so sorry for my kids at times.
Mummy.
What?
Daddy, what? You're gonna work.
No.
What?
What?
Mum, don't cry.
I just got a tummy ache. Turn my darling.
Okay, what Mum is crying?
Your tummy ache. What?
Me and my will.
You got one as well?
Oh, somebody pick that phone up. Oh, at last. Can you give me extension 7851, please?
Hi, it's Mr. Crawford.
Oh, hi, Dr. Crawford.
You know the body scan you had last, or the CT scan you had last week?
Yeah.
There was an area on the left side which we're not clear about. Now, what we have to do is we have to do another sort of test, which is a magnetic resonance scan. What we need to do is we need to get you in on Monday to get the further investigations done.
So what would happen, like, does it look like there's further disease in there?
We can't actually say. So we have to do another technique to have a look at that further.
So if, for example, just say for example there was cancer in that left-hand side, does that mean then you wouldn't continue surgery?
There is a possibility that's the case, yes. Because if it's spread to there, we wouldn't be able to clear further away around it. We need to do another test to have a look at that, and we'll be able to tell you on Wednesday, hopefully, of that result of that scan. We'll be able to then sort of discuss with you further whether the surgery is appropriate or not appropriate, and then go into things further. Okay.
All right, thanks very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Number 5,
Just
10,
have to wait down. Let me
7,
get parked.
9, 8.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to turn round, Candy, because I think we should go in the main door. So
We don't think so. It's getting nicked.
who's going to get nicked?
Me!
No, I won't. Mummy will be careful turning the car around. What we'll do is we'll go back and we'll go in the big, you know, the big playground, Candy?
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll go in that big playground, won't we?
Park the car.
And park the car up. That's a good girl. All the kids are in, and Candy's the last one in school. Still won't be all right.
No way. No way at all. No. Live and hope again, I suppose. Till Tuesday. When is it, Tuesday?
Shh, shh. Let's go see Miss Williamson. Shh. Let's find Miss Williamson. Hey, hello, Miss Williamson. Yeah, that's your headmistress, isn't
Hello,
it?
Candy. How are you this morning?
All right.
All ready for school?
Yes.
Has Mummy got the form, please?
Oh, I forgot them this morning, but all the...
Have you got... You haven't lost it?
No, they're all signed. I just I
Okay.
forgot to bring them.
Bring it at lunchtime, please.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Look, Candy. Look, there's your name. See it? Candy Reid. Right?
That's
Right.
it.
You want to give Mummy a kiss?
Big kiss for Mummy.
Big good girl.
Okay.
Mummy will meet you lunchtime. I'm going to show Mummy where to wait for you, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. In
See
you
you
go.
later. Go on then.
Off you go. Go and find something nice.
Be a
to
good
do.
girl.
Three, 2, 32. 4 and 8, 48.
If I don't have this operation with the disease is spread, then it's just a case of waiting. And how can you lead a normal life, really normal, when you've got a limit on you?
5 and 4, 54.
But I don't want to be wallowed in pity. I don't want people pitying me. You know, I'm not a freak. I'm a person with feelings and a person that's trying to cope with the disease in the best way that I know.
7, 37.
Do you know?
Let me go up.
2 on it, 7 and a 2.
Oh, look at that. I was just starting to go, do you know what I mean?
Pat, you brought crap pens with you
I
tonight.
did. Oh, well.
When Annie goes into hospital next week, she doesn't know what's going to happen to her. But one thing she has made certain of is that Carl and Candy will be in safe hands. Charlie's not in good enough health to look after the children full time, so instead they'll be with Darren and Evie Chadwick. Annie has appointed them official guardians to Carl and Candy, should anything happen to her.
At the bottom.
No, you're at the top.
Sure after
You
me.
can press 2-1.
I want the kids to be kept in their natural roots, you know, as opposed to be taken away and put with some foster family. I didn't want that at all. I wanted the right to choose who I felt was fit for my children and who would love my children.
Come all the way down again.
I don't really like the word guardians. I'd rather say, like, that, you know, they're getting new parents. I think they'll do well by Carl and Candy. You know, Carl and Candy will do really well with them. Carl, Candy. Let me get my coat off. What's that you got on? Knee pads? Well, let me get my coat off. Oh, gee, calm down, Carl. Let me get in. I'm freezing. Carl. Tell me, come here. Slow down now for Mammy. Come here a minute. Mummy wants to talk to you, please. Listen, Mammy's got to go into hospital next week.
What, tomorrow?
No, next week.
After tomorrow.
Yeah, and, well, it's not after tomorrow, but it's next week.
Well,
Right.
after that, tomorrow.
Yeah, and Mammy's got to go in for another operation. But listen,
How many long?
I don't know how. Maybe it's going to be a lot of sleeps. Mummy will be
How
late.
many?
Could be a lot, Carl. Right? But you'll be with Auntie Eve. Don't do that to Auntie Eve's lamp, for God's sake. You'll be with Auntie Eve and Uncle Darren, right? And Daddy. And also, Auntie Iris is going to be helping to look after you while Mummy's away in hospital. But you promise me, will you be a good boy for everybody? Carl?
Yeah.
You promise me? And you look after Candy, won't you? Yeah? You promise me?
Miss Walters and bang ya with a firebomb.
Bang! It's a horror.
You are what?
No,
Like
don't do that.
Susie.
Listen, no, Carl, and Mummy's been very serious.
I know you are.
Oh, I love you. Flowers, this is something. You're the liveliest lady I've ever met. Just keep going. I'll see you later today.
What is it you think that keeps you going, Annie? Is it because you're a bit of a fighter?
I'd say I was more than a fighter. I think I'd give any boxer 12 rounds any time. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm a fighter. I mean, all my friends say that. They all say that, you know, they've never known people, you know, somebody like me that can fight the way I do. You know, I don't want to die yet. I enjoy life too much now. You know, life's just been really good in a lot of ways to me. You know, especially the last 3 years, as I said before. But I just don't want to die yet. Not ready for it yet. there's lots going on around me, and there's lots I want to do with the children, and you know, there's just, I don't want to die. Everybody's got to die sometime, we all know that, you know, but I don't think my time's yet. I think my time should be a wee bit longer, at least to see my babies up.
Do you think Candy's trying to tell us something? Here, go. Give me a hug, because I'm stupid.
At the moment, we're having to wait and see what this MRI scan shows up, which I'll be having sometime this morning. If all's well, then they will operate. If the MRI scan shows further disease, then I have been told that there's a possibility that they will not operate. When you've got an answer like that they may not be able to operate, it's like the end of the road, really, isn't it?
Mrs. Reid, about to start scanning now.
Annie's options for further treatment are now severely limited. Because of damaged tissues, she can't have any more radiation or chemotherapy. Thursday's operation is therefore Annie's last chance of a cure. Less than 30 patients a year can have this type of radical surgery, and Annie's lucky she's been considered suitable. It's 7:30 a.m. At long last, Annie's wait is nearly over. John Shepherd, her consultant, is doing his early morning round. He and his team have now assessed all her scans and made the decision about whether or not it is worthwhile going ahead with the operation.
Right, this is not answering. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
How are you today?
A bag of nerves.
Why is that?
I'm waiting to find out what's happening, but my pictures show...
Well, as I explained to you on Monday night, those x-rays from yesterday's scan were to look at certain aspects that we've not been able to fully assess on the other scans.
So the operation's on?
The operation at the moment is planned for tomorrow. I want to finally review and look at those other scans with Dr. Resnick, which we're doing shortly. Now, the final decision as to exactly what I do with the operation has to be taken at the time of the laparotomy, which is opening up the belly and then exploring everything. All right?
Yeah.
I know we've been over it many times, but is there anything you want to ask me at the moment?
John, just you go to bed early tonight, right, and make sure these dainty little fingers are in good working order tomorrow. That's all I ask. Have a good night's rest so you're fit and top for tomorrow morning.
Fighting for, all right.
That's all I ask.
OK, we'll come back later on then.
Yeah, thanks, John.
OK.
I'll tell your mum what's pounding.
Seriously? Oh, no. Oh, well, at least I'm having my operation. That's one thing. It's better than just walking in here and saying, well, Mrs. Reid, I'm frightfully sorry, you know, and then walking off. It's, you know, at least I know I've still got another chance. That's one thing.
He's talking about the possibility of curing it, isn't he?
Oh, well, that's what he's saying. You know, he's not going just to relieve symptoms. He's going for a total cure. I just don't want to wake up until I'm all better. Thought of it's freaking me out, but still. It's better than being hopeless, isn't it? So, I'm over the moon, really.
Annie's operation lasted for 6 hours. Her tumour, bladder, vagina and lower bowel were removed, and she was fitted with 2 plastic bags which she will have for the rest of her life. The surgery went well, but because of her asthma and heavy smoking, Annie developed severe breathing problems. She became critically ill, and instead of the expected 24 hours, Annie was in intensive care for 3 weeks. The doctors said few other people would have survived what she did. Eight weeks later, Annie is still in hospital. Her progress has been slower than expected because of complications with her bowel function. Only time will tell if the operation affected a cure, but Annie's doctors are optimistic of her chances of a complete recovery. In the meantime, Annie's getting on with her life. She's preparing a party to celebrate Carl's 6th birthday.
I've always said that your mind plays a part in it, and your well-being, your inner being, and I still believe that. If I was going to die, I would have died in the ITU because I was so ill. And I pulled through that. So, and I'm going to pull through this by hook or by crook. I'm not going to say that, you know, I'm going to be cured 100%. I mean, I don't think anybody can really say that with cancer. But I can certainly keep fighting and not let it break my spirit. So all I would say to everybody out there is keep rooting for me and keep smiling. You know, don't get the box of tissues out.
Oh, yeah, sweet. Lift up then. Come on.
You coming home now?
No, not yet.
Looks like
You
you,
look
are.
lovely.
It looks like you are coming home.
And you look right puckered, don't ya? Do you see what Mummy's done for your birthday? Look.
Carl,
Carl, look.
give me that up with him.
Is this for Mummy?
Yeah.
To Carl, have a lovely 6th birthday, darling. With all our love and best wishes, Mandy and Mark. That's Mandy
Wait,
and
is
Mark.
that kisses?
That's kisses, yeah.
No, I'm not saddened. I'm very happy that I've been given the time to put this together. It's like the old question, what if? I can walk out and get hit by a bus. Anybody could. But I've had the time to put this legacy together for my children. I'd be more saddened if I died and they never knew nothing about me.
Dad, you be careful with your hands.
I think through in the years to come when they're older, and they'll sit down with that box and they'll go through every individual thing, they'll see they weren't just my children, they weren't just 2 babies that I gave birth to. I said, when Mummy goes, Mummy will be up in the angels, but just because I'm not here in body, my spirit will be floating around somewhere, and you'll always hear people talking about me and all the things I've left for you. So you'll know that you did have a mammy and she did love you, and that's the way I put it.
Make a wish, close your eyes, make a wish. And don't tell me to do what you're wishing. Can't you think of one? Oh, well, you can
Take a long time,
Careful,
isn't
Candy.
it?
You might be able to think of one tonight when you go to bed, yeah.
Like the back of it.
Heart was broken, teardrops fell from my life. What could I tell? Stayed too long and wonder why. Life's so hard, but still we try. Made mistakes, but sometimes won. Shed my tears and had my fun. Touched the rain and felt the sun.